Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, we are having a little chat about Rise of Skywalker. This is a bonus episode for OFAC.
Yep.
Let me shut this down. So, I saw Rise of Skywalker today. Pete's seen it as well, so we thought we'd have a little chat about it. If you haven't seen it, leave now. Don't watch this. I can't make it any more obvious. We have a banner with spoilers across the bottom. There's a great fuck off picture of Rise of Skywalker, which is, if I can try and make it a bit clearer for everyone. No, that's not going to do it. So I saw it today. I absolutely loved it. I would probably rate it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, wow.
I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had goosebumps. It hit all the right notes. It did everything that it should have done. It addressed a lot of the issues from The Last Jedi, as far as I'm concerned. There was some really good... I think The Last Jedi... So overall, I think the way the series has kind of gone is that people slagged off the first one. The Force Awakens, and effectively didn't like it because it was too much like A New Hope.
A bit of a rehash.
Yep. So everyone said, it's the same. Hate it. So the next one comes out, and then they completely fucking change everything. Yep. They go off track. They completely and utterly change absolutely everything. Everyone then hates it. Everyone goes mental. Yeah. Everyone's going, shit, it's not Star Wars. I'm never watching Star Wars again. I hate it. What did they expect? Like, what do people expect? So with this one, I was really not sure what they were going to do. But I really, really enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I really liked what they did with Kylo Ren. I really liked what they did with Leia. I thought the Leia bits were very good. I think the fact that obviously she's not with us anymore.
No.
They spiced in old footage and stuff like that, and it was never jarring. It never felt as though...
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it never felt as though, oh shit, that's blatantly CGI, or that's blatantly she's just been like dumped in the background there.
No, it was put in very well. Yeah,
it was very, very good. I love what they did with her character as well. It made the scene in The Last Jedi suddenly make sense, where she's flying through space. Yes. Now has gone back and retrospectively made that make complete sense, whereas before it was like, well, what the fuck was that about?
Yes.
So there's loads of little bits where they've gone back and kind of, okay, we've explained that, so that now makes sense.
Yeah.
I was expecting Snoke's character to be fleshed out a bit more, but I'm actually quite happy with how they handled that, to be fair. Mm-hmm. The fact they had a vat of just fucking hundreds of Snokes just shoved in there, just firing them out. Was really good. I really liked that.
That was quite cool. Yeah,
and I thought what I did find good was that pretty much everything that you saw in the trailers was handled within the first half an hour, 40 minutes. Bam, got it out of the way.
I didn't watch a lot of the extra stuff. I watched, I think, the first couple of trailers, and then I didn't watch any of the TV spots and everything. Because people say, no, there's too much revealed in there, so I stopped watching them.
You see, I didn't think, retrospectively looking back, I don't think they did.
No.
I don't think they revealed hardly anything, really. I mean, we all knew the Emperor was there, was back.
Yeah.
But I thought it might have been more, because did you ever watch Clone Wars?
What, the animated series? No, I only saw the couple of cartoons they did before they did the actual.
So there was a story arc with where you had these three Force like entities. So you almost had like the parent and then two kids.
Right.
And the kids, one was the light side, one was the dark side, and the parent kind of sat above. And I thought it might be something like that, like particularly because in the trailer, and then I'm every voice you've ever heard, and it goes from Emperor, Vader, Snoke, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I thought, it might be one of these, but And then when it was actually properly the Emperor, and he's all fucking gnarled up with little fingers and
and attached to like a robotic arm thing, feeding him whatever, and that was cool.
Absolutely fucking loved it. I thought that
he actually made me think of Davros.
Yes, with the lips and the eyes.
Yeah, when they had the Capaldi one where Davros was really old and he was like very similar, like the makeup, the milky lips, eyes and the lips, and
But I absolutely loved that. What I did find was watching it was that they've definitely left a lot of wiggle room for the expanded universe. So I think the Kylo Ren and Luke comic that's going to be coming out, I think they're 3 episodes in actually. 3 editions in. I think stuff like that is going to really flesh out a lot of the backstory, and a lot of that because there's a big difference. There's a big gap between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see a lot of stuff set in that period.
Yeah, because I thought we might see some some more flashback stuff of that nature. That was what people say, more about what happened with Kylo and stuff when he was training him. But obviously we didn't get that.
Yeah, because I thought you might get a bit, because when they fucked off from Crate, there was like a handful of them on a ship on the Falcon.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was it. Like I didn't see. Yeah. I thought you were going to see a bit more of them rebuilding the rebellion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was like, bam, there's fucking years have passed and away you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought Kylo Ren, his character in this was really good. He was just a ball of pure anger.
Yes.
And then the whole connection between him and Rey being able to physically touch each other through the Force.
Mm-hmm.
It was good because there was a couple of times where I thought, is he actually there?
Yeah.
Or isn't he? Is he still somewhere else? Like when they were fighting on top of the Death Star.
Yeah.
I thought, is he actually there or is he fucked off somewhere else? Like, and it was only when you saw his ship.
Yeah.
But,
so explain to me, I didn't get the bit where Leia dies.
Yep.
What happened there?
So do you know they keep saying that they can sense Ben in there?
Yes.
So effectively, she's done a Luke. So she's reached across the galaxy with the Force to reach her son, to get through to him. So she just starts getting through to him, and then that's when Rey does him.
Yeah.
So it takes all. To be honest, I think that was probably a way to write her out.
So you think she was kind of using her Force power to kind of try and pull him back to the light side?
Yeah, to contact him. So actually,
and that used up the last of her kind of life.
Yeah, because I know she didn't seem weak at all throughout any of it until you got to the couple of scenes before then. And then it seemed to take the last of her strength, and that's what did her. And then did you notice when Rey heals Kylo?
Yeah.
His scar disappears.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of symbolic, the whole Kylo gone, and that's Ben back.
Yeah. Yeah. And then and obviously it was nice. It was good at the end where he then did the same to her and used the last of his life to save her. I thought that was good, actually. I thought,
the whole, because all the way through I was thinking, right, he's going to end up good, she's going to end up bad.
Yeah.
They're going to swap, and then particularly when like the Emperor's going, fucking strike me down and all that.
Yeah.
I thought, she's going to do it. They're going to end up fighting. He's going to end up being the good one. It was just, the whole, because one of my issues with The Last Jedi was the whole scene in the middle, or the whole section in the middle where they're running around on space horses, and you've got the whole casino kind of bit.
Canto Bright or something. Canto Bright,
It didn't seem like it was required.
No,
it didn't seem to progress the story.
It was basically to give Finn something to do, wasn't it? Because he just had nothing to do in that film.
No, No, and that's the
they
thing.
bought.
That was like a big filler section. Like they could have
Yeah,
handled that a
yeah,
different way
yeah,
because
yeah,
ultimately it was a pointless exercise. It
yeah,
didn't
because
impact.
he was just tricking them anyway.
Yeah, but I did felt in this one there was no fillers. It was,
No,
and they kicked off, and there was action from start to finish.
yeah,
They kind of, I think, they couldn't really decide what they wanted to do with Ray all the way through the film series until this one.
yeah, yeah,
It was okay. We're going to set her up to be someone important. Then it was, you're not important. We're going to ignore that. You're just a normal person. And then in this one, they've gone back around to thinking, no, right, she's important again.
yeah,
And that's what I mean about it fleshing out. I think there's going to be a lot of books and comics and stuff because particularly like, okay, so how Palps have a kid? How did he have a son? How was Ray his granddaughter like?
yeah,
Because we never saw throughout the Empire him have any children.
no,
Because obviously he wouldn't turn around and go, yep, I've got a family. Particularly the way the Sith work.
no,
And when he was a senator as well, there was nothing like that there.
no, not that we were aware of, but
no. So I think it's definitely not a straight up normal father son kind of relationship.
Yeah,
It's either going to be a clone or some kind of genetic engineering meddling type thing.
yeah, yeah. So what? Obviously they didn't offer any kind of explanations to how he survived the fall down the shaft and stuff. But then they talked about him kind of like, I suppose in a way a bit like Voldemort. So he's got this. He is a force, and he can kind of put himself into other people's bodies. And that was kind of like we was talking about with Ray, wasn't it? That he would inhabit her body.
I think he was being more figurative.
Right. Okay.
With that.
Yeah.
Because he was saying he has the whole Sith. He is every Sith that's ever come before him.
Yes.
And I think that's pretty much just kind of like Rey when she's saying she's got all the Jedi and she hears them all. I think it's the same kind of thing. So I don't think he necessarily can go on forever. I think he's probably, in a lot of the canon and that, he has a lot of backup plans and there's a lot of cloning and there's loads of different stuff. So I think we see that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think we'll start to see that pop up in comics or in books and things like that. I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see him making his way after being thrown down the pit to the Uncharted regions. And then I think you'll see a book series or comic series of him building the First Order up there, sending it back. Because I think in canon, one of the orders is that the remaining Imperial forces, some of them fuck off to the unexplored regions,
right? Okay.
Which is where he is.
Right.
So I think we see a bit more of that in books and things like that. I don't think we're ever going to get it directly answered in a film or possibly a TV series if Disney Plus wants to go down that kind of route.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's happened. I think he's fucked off out there. But I don't know how he survived the fall. They didn't. He was pretty fucked, to be fair, because he was just on that weird arm thing.
Yeah.
But how much of that was just the fact he's incredibly owed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I quite like that. And his fingers he didn't have a couple of fingers, did he? They were kind of like down to the
knees. And they grew back, didn't they? So, it must have fucked him up, but he obviously managed to crawl out of there somehow. But it was good. I mean, I'm a massive Chewie fan.
Yeah.
And although obviously, it's not Peter Mayhew now that he's gone now.
Yeah.
But I think the new guy plays him well.
I wouldn't have known any difference. Wouldn't have known.
Mainly when he was running, you can tell it's a different run. But I mean, you can't replicate. Peter Mayhew ran the way he did because that was what his body did. It wasn't something that you put on. So, but yeah, I mean, looks wise and stuff and mannerisms,
And he
great.
finally got his medal.
Love it, love it.
Finally got his medal.
And I loved the bit where they were playing the chess. That was cool.
Of course, she can be better than us. She's like 500 years old.
Yeah, it's like no, we're not going to turn it off. And it's like, turn it off. That was cool. And getting his medal, I love Chewie, and obviously Lando was great. I thought he stole every scene he was in. I would like to see more of him, but
he wasn't in it for long, was he?
He wasn't, and really I think or they did do better than Wedge. I know you said fuck Wedge, but I mean,
fuck Wedge. No one cares about Wedge.
It was just like because I just thought, why did he turn up for that? Just to say something like "Let's get him, Lando" or something, and then that's it. You never saw him again.
No,
whether he died or survived or what. But Lando was. I mean, I know that they made a big point of like not giving I suppose the three core characters got a lot of screen time within the three movies, but it's about the new, obviously the new characters. But I think Lando was cool.
They had to they can be in it and they can be in it loads, but they've just got to justify it. And I don't think there was really any justifiable way to get him.
They just wanted someone else to fly the Falcon, didn't they, with Chewie and
effectively,
get him back. But and obviously all of the main, all three of them got some extra scenes in the last movie. So obviously Leia's stuff was stuff that she'd filmed for Last Jedi. I think that they were able to reuse a lot of it.
From what I heard, it was Last Jedi and The Force Awakens. They had quite a lot of footage on
the cutting room. So that helped.
There were some quite nice little nods with her daughter, Billie Lourd. Because she's so when at the end when she gets off one of the ships, she's in Leia's. First of all she had the same haircut as Leia did in Return of the Jedi.
Yes,
and then she's there in the background in all the Endor gear.
Yeah, that's just a very pretty young lady. Yeah, I like that. She's good, and so she had good stuff. Han got to have a little cameo, which was cool. I think it went down well with the audience.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense though to me.
It didn't. But I think we knew he was going to be in it in some.
But I think was it. I mean, the easy way to sort of explain it away is it was all in his head.
Oh yeah, no, he wasn't there. I mean, he's not a Force ghost or anything. It was just in his head. But I think they were always going to get Han back in there somehow. And obviously then Luke got his Yoda.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite happy when he kind of turned back up.
Yeah.
Although I was expecting a few more Force ghosts. I think they could have, because obviously we had voices.
Yes.
But I was kind of expecting a few more, like Force ghosts pop up. To be fair, I was expecting a bit more of that. But no, I thought the film was so good. There was so much going on. Like I've seen it once, and I think I'm going to see it one more time at the cinema.
Yeah,
and then hammer it on Blu-ray and DVD. But yeah, it was. I think it more than made up for the last one. Although I didn't think the last one was that bad. To be fair,
no, I mean it's all relative. It's
I thought it was a good way to finish the series.
Yeah,
it shows how much of an absolute fucking savage Palpatine is. From start to finish, because you can trace him back through all 9 films, and he's always there. And as I was saying to my mate, it's kind of you can either approach it two ways. You either say, "Well, they've shoehorned him in," or because my mate was saying it would be nice if throughout the 3 films, if there were little nods to something sitting in the background controlling it. And I was like, "No, you see, what I almost like the fact he only shows up in this last one."
Yeah.
Because it shows how good he is at manipulation that no one knows him. No one knows until he puts out a broadcast to because he's ready to come out on his own terms to say, right, fuck you up. I really like that bit. And the fact that they didn't waste any time. First couple of scenes that bam, straight into it and already, he's there, brilliant, fantastic. We can move on with the story now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would be sitting there watching it going, When's he going to turn up? When's he going to turn up? When's he going to turn up?
Yeah, exactly. Because they obviously made a very big point of letting us know that he was going to be in it, but we didn't know how or whatever. So yeah, as you said, they didn't like keep us waiting for that. What did you think of the horses and that sort of tribe of ex stormtroopers or whatever?
I didn't mind it. I really thought I was going to dislike it.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it. I think they handled it quite well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it made sense.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were just there because they can. It kind of made sense. He had a plan to go super low tech. They couldn't, because first thing he says is jam the speed bikes. Well, we can't jam it. There is no speed bikes. That kind of stuff. I thought, and even if they did just try and shoehorn that piece in, they explained it away well enough that I didn't mind.
Yeah, and obviously,
Go on. No, go on.
No, I was going to say, and obviously they had an opportunity because they were in an atmosphere that they could be fighting on the outside of the ships and stuff, which obviously
it reminded me of Battlefield or Battlefront. Sorry, when you do that in Battlefront, on the single player.
Okay.
You're fighting on this side of a big Star Destroyer. And that's really good. The only thing I was a bit disappointed with was you didn't see a lot of Sith troopers. They popped up at the end, and that was it.
Very brief, weren't they? Again, the red ones, and so the white ones. That was quite a cool scene, the chase scene.
Yeah. So the white ones, the jump troopers, they were excellent, but the actual Sith troopers,
they were only
which are meant to have been hiding in the uncharted regions of space with the fleet, you barely fucking saw them. You saw them right at the very end where they're fighting, and then that was it. No more. I mean, if you didn't, there's some massive differences with the armor, and the only reason we know that is because of the figures. But watching it, you wouldn't really, you wouldn't really know.
No. I did enjoy it, and obviously I'm seeing it again in a couple of days, so that'd be good to kind of just like soak it up. And as I say, I'm always going to be a little more less because the original trilogy is so ingrained in like every bone of my body. To me, they're just perfection. Nobody can put past fault at those three, and so I do judge everything by that, and I know that I'm never ever going to get that same feeling with anything that's made, because it can't ever be, because I've grown up with all that. So I need to sometimes think, well, actually that was just a bloody good movie, and not worry about it not being OT, because that's
Dean has just texted me. I think he wants to jump on.
Okay, so, cool.
No, it is not too late, Dean. Jump on.
I guess you've seen the film, mate.
He has, yeah. He has. See, it's quite rare for them because they're not normally up.
Okay.
Or vice versa, because of the time difference. So let me forward him over the invite, and we can get Dean on here as well.
Cool.
Because I think you quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, I am going to plug my laptop in because I've just got a low battery warning, so I better plug that in.
Yeah, I would. It would be slightly awkward if that just died.
Well, yeah, I'd come back, but
So we will have Dean with us in a minute. We shall finally become a threesome.
The beautiful angel Dean.
The beautiful angel Dean.
Yes.
He will be here momentarily.
Cool. Right, let me just go and I should just put my headset down for a sec.
Right, so it's just me. Oh, here we go. Dean.
Hey,
how you going?
Doing pretty good.
Good. So you just got back from seeing it?
I saw it at 10 this morning. It's what time is it? 5 right now. So I saw it about 5 hours ago.
About the same as me. Then I saw it about 9 o'clock this morning. I walked in and it was brilliant. Everyone was at work. There was probably me, my mate, and about another 10 people in the cinema. It was fucking brilliant. No one in. I was
my
saying,
theater was super dead.
yeah. I mean, I think Pete went 5 o'clock, and he said it was round, but 9 o'clock in the morning, no one, like nothing.
Yeah, I was really skeptical of even watching the movie, so I didn't even bother buying tickets opening night.
No,
And,
well,
I was like, I'll just go early the next morning. No one goes.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was empty.
Well, I fucked up a bit because I watched a couple of trailers, and it all said December 20th, December 20th, December 20th. So me and my mate booked tickets, 9 o'clock in the morning, December 20th. Completely forgot the fact that those trailers were the American trailers, and actually, so because normally I like the last two, I've gone to the midnight screenings, and I've kind of seen them. Like the last one, I saw back to back with The Force Awakens. Right. So I was like, oh fuck! But then I thought, actually, that might not be so bad. And it worked out pretty well, to be fair, because we weren't.
Yeah, I like not sitting next to people, so
yeah,
it was great for me. But yeah, I was. This is the first Star Wars movie I haven't seen opening night other than Solo, but that doesn't really count.
Yeah, same here.
I always go like first or second showing, but I waited too long. I was like, well, I'm not going to see it at 6:30. I'll just go to bed early, wake up early, and go see it in the morning. So
yeah,
that's what I did, and it was great, dude.
Yeah,
I do, mate.
All right.
I just got in like an unbelievable tangle. I could like. That's why it took me about 10 minutes to plug in there. It got wrapped around my headphones. Nah, man.
I guess what? It's when you get yourself proper mic, mate. Less wires.
Yeah.
Less wires.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So, Dean, what did you think about it then?
Oh man, it was great, dude. I really it shocked me at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I got about the part where they get to the desert festival.
Yeah,
I was like, I haven't hated anything yet.
No,
and I've had a smile on my face this whole time. I was like, but I enjoyed The Last Jedi when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got out of the theater and I started processing it that I was like, man, that movie fucking sucked. And then I saw it again. And so I was like really skeptical. I was like, all right, I need to like just keep an open mind, make sure I'm really paying attention and taking this in. But I mean, so far, just like a few nitpicks that I have, but damn, dude, they knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah. There's a few bits that I kind of think, okay, fair enough, but I can kind of see why they're there. But to me, they spent some time going back and going, okay, we've put this in, so this bit in The Last Jedi makes sense. Like with Leia. So Leia having Jedi training.
Yeah.
Right.
Brilliant idea. Love that. I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Which I think they should have shown way sooner.
Yeah.
A lot of the things I had a problem with, I was like, it's cool, but you should have done this the first or second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because when she starts calling Leia Master, I was like, hang on, this what? No, you shouldn't be doing that. And then like then towards the end when it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, she effectively Luke trained her, and then she had a force vision of, oh shit, if I carry on, my child's gonna die. She then that's it, fucking pack all this shit up, stop that. So it then made that weird scene where she's floating around in space make perfect sense. By retrospectively going back, you then think, well, that's not fucking retarded anymore. It makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
And plus, like I keep saying, it opens the doors for comics and stuff like that, where you've got this massive, rich, expanded universe they can just pump more stuff into.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out Luke and Leia wise, because they're blatantly going to be some comics with them two running around with lightsabers.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So what did you make of the CGI? I think Luke looked really good, but she looked a bit iffy again.
Yeah, that was the only bit of special effects in there that I thought looked a little bit ropey.
The Luke really shocked me.
Yeah.
And then the Leia looks, I think, good enough. I mean, we obviously know it wasn't going to be young Leia.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, I don't know why I was surprised they knocked Tarkin out of the park.
Yeah, but it was almost kind of like, because it was only like a scene, they just went, that'll do. And it was dark, so they kind of went, that'll do.
Yeah.
We won't.
Yeah.
I feel like
Luke looked great, but
I feel like they could have just taken her face out of like the film and digitally made it look like it fit in there.
Yeah.
But they just full CGI'd her face. So I was like, well, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's hey. But it's not like I wasn't offended. I think my expectations weren't crushed or met, I guess.
Yeah. It could have been a lot. That bit could have been a lot worse, like CGI wise. But yeah, particularly a lot. I think generally the CGI throughout the entire film was really good. There was that was probably the only bit that I sort of went, oh, hang on, that's kind of pulled me out a little bit. But the rest of it was really good. There wasn't anything. I think the way they handled the Emperor with the special effects with him, like, just being hung off of that weird fucking arm thing, was awesome. I really thought that was good. That was a nice touch.
When I first started seeing the Emperor, I was like, what did they do? Like, they had so much like source material to make him look like the Emperor, and it just fell flat for me. But then when he got their life energy, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So it redeemed itself before the movie was even over. So
you see, I really liked him just hooked up to that machine.
It was cool
on the arm because really, but like, and I was just saying to Pete, like, the bit I really liked was because I was like, they've got to start explaining a bit more about fucking Snoke. They've got to do something. And then it was just a throwaway line of, I got fucking hundreds of that cunt. Literally. And there's a vat with like 20 of him just stuffed floating about like that.
Yeah, I feel like Rian Johnson kind of wrote them into a corner there. I was saying earlier, I think if Snoke had lived, it could have made it a little bit more ominous. Like, Snoke has been searching for Palpatine's granddaughter to take over the mantle, and he has all these Sith followers. But it worked with Palpatine. I just thought, like, oh fuck, I really wish they hadn't just off Snoke like that, because he did end up just being a one comment.
He was a throwaway character.
Exactly.
But that's the thing I quite liked, was that it went to sort of, they kind of had no choice but to do that because of that position they were in. But I think they handled it quite well, because then...
Right, I'll be back in a sec, guys. I think he needs to go for a toilet break. I'll be back in a minute.
So I think by him going, well, look, I effectively, because we all know the Emperor fucking clones stuff up the wazoo. That's just what he does.
Right. Even ancient expanded universe shit is...
Yeah, he's because that's what I was kind of expecting, there to be a clone of Palpatine, or Rey was like this fucking hundreds of Reys or something in test tubes.
Ooh, that would have been crazy.
Because I always thought that scene in The Last Jedi where she's underground and she's got that whole mirror and there's loads of her, and
like that could have been a premonition of
that she's just so that's
cool.
So that's what I thought. But I was quite glad that they didn't go with that. But it was a bit kind of like, it was like JJ had set it up to begin with, she's someone important. The Last Jedi, they kind of went, no, she isn't, she's normal. And then in this one, when JJ's back, he goes, right, ignore that cunt, she is important, this is who she is.
Now, I almost don't like the fact that she's related to somebody, because Force users were all over the place, kind of random. It's not like they had to have the lineage to be a Jedi. But there was no... She was just like naturally good at shit she shouldn't have even known about. I mean, people haven't seen Jedi in what, 40 years, and all of a sudden she knows how to Jedi mind trick.
One thing that I couldn't help thinking the entire way through was that everyone in the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, this trilogy, is so familiar with the Jedi, the Force, actual Jedi Masters. But yet in The Mandalorian, they're running around with a little mini Yoda, and no cunt goes, do you think that could be the Force?
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, the only Jedi people have seen is Luke at that point.
Yeah.
So that's been another 30 years.
But then again, it's all
and
within.
Not everybody knows Luke even exists. Just people pretty much in the.
But it's all within. It's all kind of within living history of each other.
That's true. There should.
So there should be people about.
Yeah, like videos or something.
Yeah, and I know they kind of explain it away in The Force Awakens when they go, "Oh, I thought that was all like a myth, and it was all just legend."
I always had the impression that Palpatine was like destroying evidence or information about.
Yeah, so in a lot of the comics, I think in the Vader comics, Vader and the Inquisitors are going around, and they're not only capturing Jedis, but they're finding holocrons and all sorts, and just fucking decimate them. Right. So a lot of the information is gone, but
there's still memories.
Yeah, and they were still. It would be like suddenly someone going, in the next 50 years, all government ends. Someone would still remember it. Would go, well, we used to have this thing called the government. Someone would remember it. That's my kind of.
But really, it's almost at this point 80 years ago, because really the Jedi died Order 66, and then it wasn't another 20 years until Luke showed up, and then another 10 years that they end the Empire, and then another 40 years that the First Order is doing their thing. So.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of makes sense, but you are correct. Like, someone would definitely, like, Maz Kanata knows.
Yeah,
she's not the oldest alien around. Like, somebody should have some kind of idea.
And it seems like every other alien species lives for fucking thousands of years, apart from anything that's remotely human.
Yeah,
which gets a convenient 20 to 30 odd years of being about the place.
Right.
Like, it just seems, it just seems weird. But I think where they've tried to have the original cast within these films, they've kind of painted themselves into a corner and had to have that kind of shorter period between the two. Because I think if they just gone, right, it's a new trilogy, no one from all that's done, finished, then they could go, okay, this is like 200-300 years into the future.
Right.
Kind of like the old Republic stuff. It's like thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of like that kind of relationship. I think that might have worked a bit better for the trilogy if they just gone, right, fuck the old stuff, ignore that.
Oh, dude,
but
they should have never touched the original trilogy. Which is one of my biggest complaints, because they're always like, well, this isn't for you. It's like, well, then why did you include any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they really feel they needed to have the original cast in there to actually sell it?
Which is insane, because it's Star Wars.
Exactly.
And when you look at all the expanded universe stuff and all the stories and everything that have nothing to do with the original cast are insanely popular, there's an appetite for it. People will buy it. People want it. But they just don't. Yeah, they just. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like what we have, and I like what we've ended up with. But I'm hoping the next set of films, they don't even have Rey in there. Just start from scratch.
She said there are no plans to continue her storyline at all. So they asked her, like, "Oh, are you coming back?" She's like, "No." I mean, she could just be contractually obligated to say that.
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't mind Rey continuing. I enjoy Rey, especially now that she's not a Mary Sue. Because that was my biggest complaint. It's like she hasn't struggled. Like, she just like is good for no reason. Like, why? And now we have some kind of explanation. And now she's actually been training, and she's achieved.
It makes sense now. She's actually been trained by a Jedi.
Exactly. And so I have no problem with Rey continuing on. I think she's great.
The only thing I've kind of thought about is, the last film was The Last Jedi.
Right.
And the whole idea was, all the way through, we're meant to be thinking it's just Rey and Luke. And they're going, okay, so Luke dies, that leaves Rey as the last Jedi.
Yeah.
But she's not a Jedi. She's not fully trained yet. So that's really Leia.
Yeah, I guess
because
so.
at that point, but is that kind of just a nice afterthought, or is that something they planned? Because I just think it's a nice afterthought.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Rian Johnson fucked everyone over.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Disney was prepared for the amount of shit they had to clean up after this guy.
Yeah.
And they spent the last 2 years defending every decision he made. And J.J. Abrams comes in, and literally almost every scene of the movie is like no, he fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they spent half the movie fixing a bunch of shit they didn't really need.
Because if you take the first and third film and go like that, they carry on from each other, they make sense.
Yeah.
When you put The Last Jedi in, which, like I said, I enjoyed, I don't think is a terrible film, it definitely doesn't feel like it belongs within that trilogy now.
No. The only thing that it bridges the gap is Luke being dead and them not having any friends left until the very end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that movie really bridges the gap. And I guess Snoke being dead also.
It just turns Luke into an absolute arse, doesn't it? And it's like...
The thing is, I kind of get why he would fuck off and just go, right, no more. It's ended that badly, no more.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is you can't go like 40 odd years thinking that Luke Skywalker is the be all and end all of Jedi. We wanted to see him kick some ass. We wanted to see him in his prime, a Jedi Master, just absolutely being savage.
Yeah.
We never got that.
No.
We were teased throughout. We were teased throughout the first film. We saw him for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait like another 2 years. So by the time we actually got to see him fully, Luke Skywalker, back, we then get the Last Jedi version, which, although makes sense in context with the story of, right, he thinks he's failed, the Jedi needs to stop. He absolutely thinks he's cocked everything up.
Right.
It just, for everyone watching it, it's like, for fuck's sake, we just want to see him. But we wanted to see Crate Luke all the way through.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we wanted.
My big complaint with a lot of the shit in The Last Jedi I could look past, but my biggest complaint was how Luke got to that point in the movie.
Yeah.
It's not like he had a school and he was defeated by Snoke and his protege nephew was taken from him. He himself tried to kill his nephew because he was having a bad dream. It's like, okay, the guy who went on a suicide mission to save his dad because he could see a little bit of good in him.
Yep.
The most evil dude in the face of the galaxy. To save his father is just gonna kill his nephew like a decade later for having a nightmare. Like, it's fucking stupid. It makes no sense for the character. Like, he's the good old boy. Like, that's what made Luke so great, is he was able to look past this good versus evil and say, like, I'm done fighting. I'm not going to kill my dad and continue down this path because I don't need to. And then he just does it to his nephew. It's so stupid. Like, that whole Luke's whole attitude in that movie was just like, I don't get it. Like, if you want him there, you gotta pick a different way of getting him there. And exactly, like, and since he's there, we never would have gotten what we all wanted, which was to see Luke fucking pulling down Star Destroyers out of the sky. And I think the closest we're ever gonna get is if you played Battlefront 2, the storyline. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the new comics with Luke and Kylo, they're meant. I want to read them because I think that's Luke at the height of, that's the pulling down Star Destroyers. That's what I want to see in those comics.
Right.
It's just a shame that we have to go to the expanded universe to get that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm almost hoping that Disney kind of go, oh, fuck me, we've had so much success with The Mandalorian and we're going to do an Obi-Wan thing, and maybe it would be good if they kind of bridge some of these gaps with TV series and stuff like that. But,
dude, honestly, I just want them to move away from this timeline. Everything we've gotten is it bridges this movie to this movie or this
yeah,
thing to this. It's like, oh, this is what happened right after the Death Star exploded. This happened right before episode 4. It's like, dude, just leave all these people alone. Go 2,000 years into the future, 2,000 years into the past. Like, just leave it alone, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful ending to the story, and they need to just stop.
I want to see more of the.
Although I'm excited for Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see more of the old Republic, like when in the Knights of the Old Republic games, that kind of era.
Exactly.
I think that would be would be good. We
even
have a comment.
Ooh.
Mark, this is from Facebook user. That must have been an awkward christening. Mark Hamill said right up front, "This is not my Luke Skywalker." Even he hated the portrayal of Luke in The Last Jedi.
This movie really, all Luke's dialogue is like a big middle finger to that movie.
Yeah,
like when Rey chucks the lightsaber, he grabs it and says, "This a Jedi's weapon should be treated with more respect," which is
when he's like
middle finger to the It's like and like he's just like a way more positive, like. And sure of who he is, and as a Jedi and as a mentor, and now as a Force ghost, and it's like this is the Luke we wanted all along. It's a shame he's a ghost now, but I mean, at least he, through the Force, he lives on.
I was expecting to see a few more Force ghosts pop up.
Yeah, I don't know why Yoda wasn't there. I mean, his voice was. So
I mean, because particularly when like the Emperor's shooting lightning, and she's batting it back, and it would have got a little bit Harry Pottery, but I was expecting to see then Luke behind her, Obi-Wan, Anakin.
Oh, kind of like Goku Yoda. When Gohan's gonna kill Cell.
Yeah, so like kind of they're there behind them, like kind of thing would have been. Cool. Would have just a little nod would have been good because, like I say, we heard all their fucking voices.
Yeah.
So why not just have
Qui-Gon, Luke, Mace Windu? I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
kind of sucks because I was hoping Mace Windu would still be alive.
How many? So in the next sort of 3-4 months, how many people are going to get hold of that clip and just put in clips of Samuel L. Jackson just going motherfucker,
dude?
Within that, you can guarantee
the fact that you have already thought about it means like a million other people.
Yeah, because literally, as soon as this voice came up, all I was thinking was like, "Oh, please, please, just do it."
Yeah,
just go, motherfucker. I have to do it. It would be cool. But I think the more. As much as I liked The Last Jedi, this film was so good, it has made me now not like The Last Jedi as much as I did.
Dude, The Last Jedi.
It's just now pushed that film further down.
There's just okay. Again, my biggest problem is with Luke.
Yeah.
My other big problems are with Rey and Finn, and this movie totally redeems them. It's like they actually have development now. Finn's not. Finn has the exact same story arc in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. It's like he's a coward, he's trying to run away, and then he decides to do the good thing. It's like I just saw him do that a year ago. Why am I watching it again?
So so Rose, they just completely ignore the fact that she's got the hots for him as well in this one. They just go, no, not dealing with that. Yeah.
No, I feel like okay, the kiss with Rey and Kylo, it kind of pissed me off. I was really upset. Because I always felt like Finn and Rey had a thing for each other.
Well, they were leading up to that.
Is that not what he was going to tell her?
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Well, see, someone said that he just wanted to tell her that he had Force, like feeling the Force. Like he could sense things now. And I was like, oh, maybe that is what he was going to tell her because she.
I suppose he keeps going on about I've got a feeling.
Yeah, and like he never, I guess she didn't know, which would make sense. They never talk about it. So I was like, oh, that's possible. That's what he was going to say. But also that whole thing with Rose and Finn was so forced and like
it was just
out of left field. I was like, he had like he wasn't even flirty at all. Like
no, he just came out of nowhere.
No chemistry. He had more chemistry with Rey when they first got onto the Falcon than than Finn and Rose that entire movie.
Yeah, 100%.
It
just like,
and I feel really bad because they just like forgot about that character.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not her fault that movie was terrible.
No, and it was like, he's like, yeah, come with us. No, I'm going to stay and look at plans. Okay, you stay and look at plans then. Like,
I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
It's not her fault. The writing was terrible.
No, she got a lot of flack for that last film.
Yeah, I felt really bad for her.
Yeah,
but I mean, she was a pretty decent character in this movie. It's not she wasn't important.
No, she did stuff like it just.
But yeah, they just like all the writing from The Last Jedi and the characters are just they either don't make sense or they're underdeveloped. And it was like, this is the second movie. We really need to see a lot more change. So in this movie, I feel like they knocked it out of the park.
I do think fans have got to take a lot of responsibility because just purely because of the way everyone acts over Star Wars. So like I said before, everyone complained about the first one was too much like A New Hope. Second one comes along, they completely change everything. Not for the better, but they completely change everything, thinking, okay, that must be what people want. And then we end up with The Last Jedi, and it's the same with like Solo. So I don't think Solo is a bad film. I quite enjoy it.
No. Yeah, dog on that movie, but I'm like, dude, it's never going to be Harrison Ford.
No.
Once you get past that,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good.
But when you go, so hardly anyone went to see it at the cinema because everyone said he's not Han Solo. He's not Han Solo.
They're also boycotting The Last Jedi.
Yep, so they boycotted that. So they turned around and went, okay, she's not getting any more Han Solo films. It then comes out on Blu-ray, digital, and all of that. It then does really well.
Yeah.
Because people then went, oh, actually, I'll give it a go. Oh, actually, it's an all right film. Well, too late now. The fucking damage is done. We're not getting any more.
Yeah.
Like, I think as fans, people need to own up and kind of not be as critical and remember. And like I've said thousands of times before, if I could go back in time, tell my 10-year-old self what the shenanigans that are going on with Star Wars, I'd have my first wank. It'd just be amazing. You wouldn't think it. Like, you just wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, again, I know we're talking about episode 9 and I keep going back to The Last Jedi. But
it's just too easy to do.
That movie was... The writing of that movie was bad, which is what people were complaining about. It's like none of this makes any sense. The characters' motivations are all over the place and weird. And instead of saying like, okay, we made a bad movie, what can we do to fix it? They called everyone bigots and crybabies. And then people like me were like, okay, well then we're just not going to buy your stuff. And that's exactly why Solo failed. But you're right. At the same time, it's like, well, look, like, just because this movie's bad doesn't mean all of Star Wars is bad.
Yeah.
And
like
you have to accept the bad with the good, and it's a hard pill to swallow, especially for me because I really fucking hate that movie. But tell them with your wallet, and that's exactly what I've been doing for the past year. And guess what? Now that I've seen this movie and I think it's great, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Target and buy all the Black Series figures.
Fucking first thing I did when I came out was I was sitting there on my iPad thinking, I've just been paid today as well. Maybe I can just see if there's any Star Wars figures going. So but there might be something.
Yeah, I think there's just like a lot of assholes who take to Twitter and bully Kelly Marie Tran off definitely off of social media, but just vote with your wallet, and it works. And even with all the complaints I have, I think they did a really, really good job addressing the dumpster fire of the last movie. Yeah,
and I think that was one of the things I really, really liked about this is that you can retrospectively look at the last film, and bits now make sense, and it kind of all clicks together. As well as just making sure the whole film wasn't about just making the last one make sense.
Yeah,
you had a proper formed story.
Unfortunately, there was a lot of backtracking.
Yeah,
when they really shouldn't have had to do that, but they they did have to do it, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
But they handled it well. It wasn't. It never
So
felt
well.
like it never, because
Yeah.
typically when films do that, you're kind of taken out of it and you go back a step and you think, oh fuck me, we've been here. I don't need to know that. But there was no time when I was thinking this is dragging now. It was just constant all the way through, just bang, 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 bang. They were hitting all the notes, and there were so many bits in there where I was like, this is just so good. Chewie getting his fucking medal, Leia finally fucking turning.
That was beautiful.
Oh, I was so fucking happy. When C-3PO got his memory back, I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. Thank fuck for that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. And then I thought I did really like how they handled it, because when he gets his memory back, it's from like years ago.
Yeah.
How long after The Last Jedi?
I don't know. So
Like
I
years,
assume it's 2-3 years. It must be something like that, because there was only like 30 of them on the Falcon, and then all of a sudden there's quite a few of them.
Right. And
I mean, what I did thought was pretty good was everyone was going mental about fucking C-3PO over bowcaster, thinking red eyes, he's going to go on some fucking rampage.
Right.
And turns out it was just the fact he's having a memory wipe and he's carrying Chewie's gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I was legit ready for Chewie to die and C-3PO to like go on some battle hardened like fuck you spree.
Yeah.
Luckily that didn't happen. I think Chewbacca. Yeah. Well, one, you can't kill Chewbacca. One, he's too lovable. Two, pretty much anyone over 8 feet tall can play him. So that's a character you could really always have, and they live forever.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, if they kill Chewie, that's like, I know they're kind of done with this era of Skywalkers, but that's a character you could really start a new franchise with.
Saying that though, when I thought he was dead, I thought that would have been a really good way for him to go, is by Rey accidentally killing him.
Really kind of off screen. I was kind of like,
well, because because at that point
I was like 50-50. Have they really done that? Is that his end? Surely he deserves something more than that.
At that point, I was thinking Rey's going to turn. She's going to turn, and that would have been the tipping point to then go, yeah, that's it. I'm fucked now. And then, but then it was like, oh no, there's another transport over here, but you haven't seen it.
Unfortunately, I've watched like all the trailers 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, Chewbacca's in the Falcon with Lando later.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, oh, he's not dead.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. I was quite impressed with the way they pretty much, a lot of the content that was in the trailers was dealt with quite early on. Like, I wasn't expecting that last TV spot, which was heavily around the Sith Temple, to be like the first 5 minutes of the film.
I think I missed that one.
It only came out a couple of days ago, 3 days ago.
I didn't see it.
And it was literally, it's Kylo walking from his ship into the Sith Temple, him coming down the lift, and when the Emperor's going to him, I'm every voice you've heard in your head. That was the TV spot, that chunk. Right. So when it happened in the first like 5 minutes of the film, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, cool. Because then I'm not hanging around waiting for that bit, because it was such a cool bit.
I really enjoyed the Force connection between Rey and Kylo in this movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was really stupid in The Last Jedi. And then they explained it that like Snoke was making that happen.
Yeah.
And when it started in this movie, I was really skeptical, like, wait a minute.
Yeah, how's it still going on?
Yeah. And then when I guess I was like, well, I guess Palpatine also made that happen somehow, and he's still alive. So, but they made it work so well in this movie. Definitely. In the Last Jedi, it was just kind of like creepy and like ew. But this movie, it made
because he had his shirt off. Yeah,
yeah, and it was also kind of like stalkery, like oh, dude,
very, yeah.
But they pull it off so well in this movie that I totally forgive it.
It's funny because when they kissed at the end, I could almost feel like the collective groan of the audience, thinking, "No, they're not turning this into a romance."
I hated that,
and then he died, so it was okay. It was, but yeah.
I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on Kylo dying.
I
like it.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best way they could have finished it.
Yeah.
Because realistically, what's he going to do? He's going to walk back in with the rebels. Go, oh no, I'm Ben now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're going to prison, dude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're just gonna strap you to the end of a cannon and fucking launch you into the sun. Like,
Yeah.
So
I kind of also felt it was a fitting end to the character.
I think so. It was his way. Is it a way of him kind of, some retribution for?
it kind of reminded me of like Vader's arc, but
Right.
it was pretty much Vader's arc. I think he needed to, whatever happened in this film, he needed to just go away. So him dying and bringing Rey back, was probably the best way to do that. By having her complete, she's fucking brown bread, she's gone, and then him bringing her back was probably the best way they could have dealt with that. And it was a bit of a surprise because I thought, oh, hang on, okay, they're both alive, and then gone.
I was like, what? How does that work?
Well, they kind of explained it with the snake when she goes, I gave him, when she healed the snake,
a little bit of her life,
which tied into the last episode of The Mandalorian.
So
it's like, oh, you've seen it before. It's like, yesterday. Like, this isn't technically a force power people have, but okay, I guess.
It does make me. That was one thing I thought, and I know different Jedi are tuned into the Force in different ways, and they know specialities and stuff like that. But it did seem that they probably could have not included that in The Mandalorian because, like I say, particularly because we just saw it yesterday.
Yeah, it's not like it's old canon. Like
no, and I suppose the games and that they can heal themselves and all of that. We know that through the fucking thousands of games we played to do with Star Wars.
Right.
Like when I think of Knights of the Old Republic, one of the Force powers was a heal, so it would heal yourself and your crew, your team.
Right.
So we know, and that's canon. We know it's there, but we just haven't seen anyone in films or anything just be able to go you're healed. And you're healed.
Yeah, but it's like what is and what isn't canon,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's kind of the waters are muddy when Disney came on, and I think they pick and choose what suits them instead of before.
I'm in a chat with a few of the guys from Ox, and I was like, the Force is just a MacGuffin. It's like whatever they needed to do, whenever they needed to do it.
Yeah.
The Force can do it. Yeah. It's kind of silly, but I mean, it's an all-powerful mystical energy. So who says it can't do it?
And the thing you've got to remember is ultimately it's a film about space swords, flying wizards,
right?
And spaceships. So
if you're okay with one thing, you should really be okay with all.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, well, if you've got this thing called the Force that can control everything, there he is. Hello, Kev. Like if they've got something that can just control everything and do anything, then they can just pull it out their ass whenever they want, and we just have to accept that. There's no, there's no two ways about it.
Right, kid.
So.
Oh man! All in all, I'm pretty pleased. I need to see it again probably another times to really get a good grasp on everything because there's maybe some stuff I missed, or like I said, I think I saw The Last Jedi 3 times to really be like, this movie fucking sucks. So
I think I saw it twice at the cinema, and then I got it on.
I think I saw it twice at the cinema, but I've not watched it since.
When it first released on Netflix, I watched it again, and I was like,
so I went round my mate's house last night, and we watched The Last Jedi. And then this morning went to see this one. So
nice.
It was kind of like having them back to back.
I've watched it once in 4K because it does look glorious.
It does.
It's a beautiful movie.
4K.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling. I forgot what we were talking about, but I was like, dude, like Rian Johnson's a great director, and that movie is very beautiful.
I mean, that scene in the throne room with Kylo and Rey. And they're fighting.
The worst choreographed fight in the history of.
I love it.
Fights.
I love it. I think it's brilliant.
Awful.
I love it.
Go look at any fight in the prequels. Those things are like meticulous, like down to the T. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to find a mistake in that one fight. It's just like, how is any of this happening? It's so bad.
I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was good. I like that.
It was great.
I like that bit and the fight between Kylo and Luke on Crate. Those two bits are just my favorite. Like Crate Luke on that.
I just wish that it was actually Luke.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you're gonna have Luke die, have him fucking die. Not some force projection, like not actually fighting.
Effectively, he was past it, and he's pretty much had a heart attack. He's that bloke. He's that bloke who's fucking eaten way too many chicken wings and passed out and died. That's kind of what it was.
I believe it was Quinn from Ox who said that he thinks Leia did the same thing with Han Solo. That somehow she projected Han Solo because he's not a ghost. He's fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
Whereas Luke, is that bluish aura.
See, I thought,
and it was like, well, that kind of makes sense. But can you force project another person, especially if they're dead?
I thought that was all in Kylo's head,
right?
Because he was saying like, "I'm always with you. I'm always in your memories and stuff like that." So I just assumed that was in Kylo's head.
Like he's like in an internal struggle.
Yeah, because it was quite symbolic. Leia reaches out to Kylo, actually reaches through to Ben, the good part of Kylo. Rey then kills Kylo, the bad part, and then he then sees his dad, and that's when he's saying like, Kylo's gone, but Ben isn't. My son is still alive.
Yeah,
and he fucks off the dodgy lightsaber. I think it was more kind of like that than it was Leia. I think it took all Leia had left to reach him.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a great scene. I liked it either way.
Because, like you say, he's fleshed out. He's solid.
Right.
He's not like Luke or Yoda or anything. He's there.
Which took me by surprise. It's like, holy shit, Harrison Ford came back for this.
Yeah, I did not expect it. I did not expect him to pop up. That was probably my biggest surprise.
Yeah. I expected him to in some respect, but I thought it might be a flashback or something.
Yeah, I thought we might see old footage. I didn't think we'd see a whole new bit. I thought you get the normal flashbacks of him being stabbed and him falling down a fucking chute.
Yeah.
But I didn't think we'd see.
Which we also did see that
too. yeah. But yeah, all in all, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I instantly came back and started reposing my palps. Like, the Emperor now, as much as he was a badass before, he's just another level. I'll tell you, I'm waiting for Hot Toys to come up with him just suspended on a fucking arm, and I'll buy it.
That'd be cool.
All my Star Wars figures are mostly A New Hope. The only ones I have that aren't are my prequel figures, but Bespin, Luke, and Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I do have a Kid Master Jedi Luke.
Oh, very cool.
And then I do have Rey, Finn, Kylo, Phasma, but they're in storage because I was like, fuck these guys.
You see, that's the thing now.
Luckily, I picked up this guy on Tuesday.
I know, you bastard.
Right, I really want that now. I had no idea.
Really want that now. So I want that Luke now. I wouldn't even say no to a Phasma. I want Rey again. I want Finn again. We're going to get a new Emperor, 100%. I reckon
that was so cool.
Yeah, I think we're going to get the red robe. We're going to get him dangling off of a fucking string or whatever the fuck he was on. So we're definitely going to get 2 of them. I want a husk. I want him because he was just, and the way he just got fucking shot and done.
Yeah,
I think there's so many more characters we could possibly have.
When is he going to learn how to force lightning lightsabers?
I know. Yeah, I mean, how many fucking times?
It's like, dude, just turn off the lightning. Why do you keep killing yourself?
Yeah, twice now. Twice. And we fucked his face up the first time. Did he not learn?
Yeah, and then he full on Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
The second time.
I mean, that scene was so cool. His just face has been thrown.
Dude,
He's
honestly,
turn it off.
I was like in shock that they in a Star Wars movie. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. They fucking went for it. Absolutely went for it. And I was surprised about the amount of Sith that were there as well. Like, there must have been fucking thousands of them hiding in the unexplored, unexplored regions of space. But I thought all that was good. And the way he had, the way he just had the whole fleet hiding.
Dude, the fleet. Oh my god.
Oh, it's fucking mental. When he starts pulling them up, and you're like, fuck's sake, how many are there? And there was that many there, you couldn't see. All you could see, they were like slices of pizza.
Yeah.
Just all jammed in.
When
like,
Rey flies in with her X-Wing.
Yeah.
And you just see them like going off into the
distance. They're just stacked.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah. It just insane. And the whole film made me realize how I knew Palps was a badass, but how absolutely fucking savage he is, that he's gone through effectively 9 whole films just being involved in them behind the scenes, just making everything sort of work away till he gets to this end point. It's just mental.
Yeah.
The absolute master manipulator. But yeah, it was insane. Very, very good. Very good.
When we all sing it again, then I'm going on Tuesday.
My mate's on shift, so I was looking at the 11th, January the 11th. So get Christmas all that done with, and then I'll see 11th, and then I will literally be scouring Cody till it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
just waiting for it to pop up. But yeah, when do you think you'll see it again, Dean?
As soon as possible. I don't have a vehicle at the moment, so whenever anybody wants to go with, I could tag along. Like, take me with you.
I'd give you a lift, mate, but it's a little bit out of my way, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyone seen any The Witcher yet? I haven't managed to watch any yet, but that dropped today, didn't it?
No, I mean, I feel that anything new that's kind of drop over the next couple of days, it isn't going to get a look in.
Did you get the trailer for it before the movie?
No, we had a trailer for a film called 10.
Oh, you were saying,
yeah, which was shot in IMAX, and it was like 10 minutes of the film.
What is it though?
Fuck knows. It looks as though it's got the twinkly vampire man.
Robert Pattinson.
That's the one.
Bruce Wayne.
Twinkly vampire man. He can like rewind time, I think, but you only see it a couple of times throughout
maybe
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Can he rewind time?
He fucking wants to.
Yeah.
But what they ended up doing was showing that twice, and then a load of the trailers there was no video; it was just audio, and I was like, do not fuck Star Wars up.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do this to me.
It was quite good because they had it came up. It started saying that as one saga comes to an end, another begins, and then it was The Witcher. So it was quite cool that they tied it into Star Wars.
I did see on Facebook that a lot of people said like it's unashamedly trying to plug the whole Game of Thrones as left.
Yeah, but they're saying it's really good as well. So
how many previews do you guys get?
We got that.
Too many.
We got Witcher. We got Bad Boys 2.
What? Bad Boys 2?
Yeah, 3. Sorry,
Bad Boys
3. We're that far behind.
You ain't seen Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, Bad Boys 3. Sorry. And then quite a few TV adverts, which I thought was weird, like the Dracula thing on.
You got
BBC.
an ad for The Witcher?
Yeah,
weird.
Netflix. Yeah,
they come out today.
Yeah.
Today.
I'm gonna start watching it. Okay, because you said you only got one, and I was like, "You guys only got one preview over there?"
Nah, I think there's a bit of a campaign going on at the moment because I think that it's normally about half an hour, 40 minutes worth.
Yeah,
it's getting that fucking insane. Where they'll tell you that your film starts at 9, you get in there for 9, and it's like 9:30, 20 to 10, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
And then we got the bit where it said, you know, like now the main feature, turn off your phone, and the next thing you get is a advert for
fucking
Pepsi
advert.
Max, and then there's another like 3 or 4 product ones, and you're like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. Going, this twat tried Pepsi. This twat tried Coke.
Yeah.
This twat could tell the difference. This fucker couldn't. Buy Pepsi, and you're like, oh fuck off! I just want to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
There was so much shit.
I can't remember what other movies we had, to be honest.
Oh, it was all shit.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was irrelevant. They could have showed me.
Cats.
That's a fucking horror story.
It does look scary, doesn't it?
It just looks fucking mental, and I don't know when I want to watch it.
James Corden, what a wanker.
Oh man.
Yeah. Right. Well, I think we pretty much
we've passed the midnight hour here.
To be fair, I think we spent more of the time just slagging off The Last Jedi than actually talking about Rise of Skywalker.
Unfortunately, it just caused so many problems that this movie was picking up the pieces, and it's just like, and that's a huge detriment to this movie.
Yeah,
it had to waste too much time.
You held it back.
Shit.
Yeah. But then it shows how good this film is. That it didn't damage it in any way. It never felt like it was forced, that they were going, oh fuck, now I've got to go back and explain this. It flowed into it quite well.
I felt like it didn't need to be Palpatine, but I felt like because Snoke got so
Palps was a substitute for Snoke. Snoke was always going to be that bad guy.
Exactly.
Who
like
had an army sitting in the outer rim.
Like I've been looking for Palpatine's granddaughter so I could, like, I don't know, take her power or something. And then I was like, no, he's dead. And I was like, oh, fuck. Now
I've got a feeling that she wasn't even going to be related to anyone of any importance.
No.
That she was just going to be an exceptionally strong Force user. And then because of the way The Last Jedi played out, they've gone, right, we've got to go in balls deep here with something big, Palpatine's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if it wasn't because of how long it's been between the films, it definitely would have been, right, that's Palpatine's daughter. They wouldn't have gone to the granddaughter route. It just would have been.
Yeah.
A lot of people have thought that she was Palpatine's granddaughter because her fighting style is really similar.
Yeah.
She does a lot of jabs and like trickery.
Yeah. Because I've heard that for quite some time. People go, it's going to be.
And again, I would have been fine if she wasn't related to anybody. In fact, that would have been cooler. Like, have Rey be cool on her own, not because she's somebody's kid.
And as well, not everyone in the galaxy has to be related to each other.
Exactly. But it's like, just have her be cool on her own, but give me a reason why she's good on her own, not just a Mary Sue. Yeah. So this one explains why she's not a Mary Sue, but also almost like a detriment to the character.
Yeah.
But it did fit into the story pretty nice. I didn't feel like that was forced.
And it almost, the only thing I thought was a little bit odd was she's very much like, I can't remember anything. You get to this film, well, I kind of remember bits.
Well, now I remember all this stuff.
Yeah. And you're like, well.
As soon as I'm on the ship, I remember like everything.
Yeah. And you think, well, you know, they could have, because I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it was like a Revan situation where she was actually a Sith Lord, and because of she's lost her memory somehow, and that's why she's so good at everything.
Yeah, except she was a little kid.
Yeah. I mean, or that
although that was cool too. She trained as a little kid to be
or she was a clone of a Sith Lord, something like that. Like,
did you play Fallen Order?
Yes.
Okay, that would have been cool. Spoilers for Fallen Order also not over here. He cuts himself off from the Force. Yeah. And as the game progresses, he has to relearn what he already learned. Mm-hmm. So that would have been cool too. Like when they left her on that planet, they like cut her off from the Force.
Yeah. And she's relearning it all.
Got that residual memory. That would have been a really cool time.
Yeah, like she could have been like a Sith Padawan.
Right. Oh man. That would have been damn, dude.
See?
You're writing.
I should have fucking wrote the film.
Yeah, there's a lot. I really wish they had done more with that Sith audience.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have just ex-nayed Palpatine and had them as a collective, like, oh, like Rey, you're here now.
Because in the
searching for you needed like pressuring her as a
yeah
huge like arena of people.
Because in the old Republic, the Sith was a race. There was thousands of them. It wasn't the rule of two. There was thousands of actual Sith.
Right.
So it kind of harked back to that, which I quite like.
Didn't Darth Bane start the rule of two?
Yeah. So I quite like the idea of there being thousands of them. And plus, the thing is,
well, they said they're just sympathizers.
Did they? Was it just Sith sympathizers?
I mean, I don't know if they were all in dark. I could barely see them.
Yeah. But I think they've been quite clever, and they've kept them all hooded. You don't see them. You know they're there, but you don't see them. So
Right.
when we see the next film in like 2022 or something, whenever it is, they could easily have any one of those crawl out of that temple.
Oh yeah, dude, they all got wrecked though.
Yeah,
these people getting crushed by huge rocks and shit.
Fucking Emperor's back, and he fucking felt he literally had a Death Star dropped on him after falling down.
Yeah, that was my big complaint with Palpatine being in this movie. Again, they were written to a corner. I don't see any other way they could have really done it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Maul's still about, and he got cut in half.
But I was like, he gets thrown down a shaft. The Death Star explodes. Then it crashes down onto the planet below, and he's still. I was like, I guess, but whatever.
Yeah.
That being said, I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good.
Me too. Cool. So I guess we'll have to leave it there because, like I said, it's late our end, mate. We are tired.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on. It's good to get your opinion on it as well.
Yeah. No, great to see you, mate.
Yeah. And then all we need to do is find out what Zach thought of it, and then we can adopt that company line.
He loved it.
He says 9 out of 10.
I think his rating was a little higher than mine. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, I think his rating was about the same as mine, 9 out of 10. Like,
9 out of 10. Yeah, I just think the Last Jedi is so shit that it really put a hinder on this movie. Otherwise, it would have been probably a 9 or 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's almost.
This movie was so fun, start to finish.
I think JJ walking away was the problem. If they kept JJ for the second and had him at the third as well, or just agreed that was him. The three films are all him. I think we wouldn't have had The Last Jedi. We would have had a completely separate film that then tied better into this film. And then we would have had a few of these characters like the Emperor and that wouldn't have been there. It would have been Snoke, and it would have progressed a lot more logically.
And look what happened with Star Trek. JJ walked away for the third one, and that was the whole shit show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Let the motherfucker make 3 movies.
Yeah. Well, he's very good at setting up these long story arcs.
Right? Has anybody ever seen fucking what's it called? His fucking TV show on the island. Lost. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
I loved Lost, but
I did.
Its way in the end, definitely.
Well, the problem was they had a lot of issues. JJ walked away, and the writers admitted that they got to the point where they were just writing stuff. There was no longer an arc. They were just writing stuff episode to episode, which is why you ended up with that shit show of nothing making sense.
Yeah. But final thoughts: they did a good job tying up loose ends that didn't need to be there, and I think they did justice to not only the character of Leia, but Carrie Fisher and the original cast. I think it was great.
Yeah, I think it was a fitting way to end the Skywalker saga for now.
Yeah.
So definitely. Cool. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah.
And that is us for tonight. I'm going to go to bed because I'm fucking knackered. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. See you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Do the voice, Dean. Do it properly.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it. Cool.